I'm Lindsay Theory. This is Gary Klein. We're on the campus of USC with the Los Angeles Times to preview the Trojans' 2015 linebackers. And Gary, it's a pretty stacked group from top to bottom. Anthony Sorrow, Lamar Dawson, Sua Cravens, and Scott Felix slated to start. However, Lamar Dawson likely will be unavailable for the first game because of a rib injury. This group of starters, a little bit different look than a season ago, but how do you think they stack up?
Well, you have a veteran presence in Anthony Sorrow, who played last season. Sua Cravens, of course, is an honors candidate going into this season after a very productive season moving from safety to linebacker last year. And Scott Felix has talked about how much he feels he's improved as a pass rusher and also as someone who can drop back into coverage. So we're going to see, they have so many linebackers, we're going to see a real platoon, I think, effect going on here.
During training camp, it was interesting because you couldn't quite get a grasp on who was going with the starters, the second team, third team, because there are so many. There's a young group of freshmen, but in between, there's also a handful of guys who've been in the system now for a season or two.
Yeah, Uchenna Nwosu is one. They have some guys coming back. Jabari Ruffin, who sat out last season because of an injury, he's back. So there, and Michael Hutchings, Quentin Powell. You have those guys that will play. In what role, we'll see. But I think those guys are almost regarded as almost like bridge players between the starters and the young players, the young freshmen that they brought in.
The young freshman, perhaps the most impressive through training camp, was Porter Gustin. I think a lot of people expected to see that. Osa Messina, another strong linebacker, and John Houston that they brought in.
Right, and Cameron Smith, who
might start.
Who may start this game in place of Lamar Dawson. He came in the spring. He has really benefited from that head start. He's doing a very solid job, and it'll for a first game. If you have a freshman out there at middle linebacker, that's showing you do have a little bit of depth.
So the Trojans have plenty of linebackers. Have your roster handy because expect to see a lot of them rotating through. The Trojans kick off Saturday against Arkansas State. With Gary Klein, I'm Lindsay Theory. Be sure to keep it on the Los Angeles Times for all the latest from USC.